Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Welcome everybody to another episode of the You Good podcast. My name is Rob Hippowitz. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day. A couple days before Thanksgiving. Today we're going to start a series that I had planned on that I thought is definitely near and dear to my heart because I have both my brothers that were in the military and my father. So we're going to do Military Mondays. And I will definitely have some interviews that will come up in the future. And we're going to talk about some things, some PTSD, anxiety, depression, and how all those things affect our community, affect people that have been in the military. And definitely a salute and a shout out to all of my veterans. Veterans Day was just a couple of days ago, happens to be my birthday, November 11th. So definitely much appreciated, much love. A happy Veterans Day to all veterans in and around the Baltimore area and in the United States and around the world actually. Happy Veterans Day to you. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you. And thank you so much for everything that you do for us and our families and our country. And here we go. Once again, here we are. This is the You Good podcast coming to you from Baltimore. So here we go. All right, we're going to talk about some things. Some disparities, some diagnoses, some other things. So, according to this particular bit of information that I have pulled up, equitable mental health care requires that different populations and subgroups of users and can be afforded equal access to within a given system. Social cultural the health system uses a potential user perceives or experiences discrimination from a provider or from the public, the experience may discourage the user from seeking services. So basically, if someone seeks service initially and they get discriminated against, if they get pushed back, if they say, well, look, you can't have this service or this service is not for you for whatever reason, whether it be racial, ethical, or whatever happens to be, if mental issues, if they're homeless, things of that nature, if they happen to get some pushback or they happen to get discriminated against, then they are less likely to do a follow-up. They are less likely to go and seek service. So please, all our service providers, if you see our veterans out there, if you see our homeless people out there, if you see our black and brown in our community and they are seeking help, please give them help. They are people like everybody else. They are in this like everybody else. They are asking for help. So it's not like they're avoiding, they're asking for help. So please, help our people. Help us to get better. All right? There's also some disparities in some of the diagnoses that happens. 2007 systematic review of racial and ethnic disparities in the VA healthcare system noted finding from several studies that black and Hispanic patients were more frequently diagnosed with and treated for PTSD. All right, that's what they were for. Actually, psychotic disorders, for schizophrenia, as opposed to while white veterans were more frequently diagnosed with a treated and affected disorder, for example, bipolar disorder or depression. So even the diagnoses, when these veterans are going to seek help in the VA, they're being treated differently. Those black and brown soldiers that have fought side by side with white soldiers are being treated differently, are being diagnosed differently, medicated differently, frowned upon, unfortunately. So let's be diligent about this. Let's make sure that everybody is getting the same service once they return from being overseas. Let's make sure that everybody's getting the same health care once they come back, because they're all dealing with the same issues. PTSD strikes a black and brown soldier just like it strikes a white soldier, but it doesn't have to be diagnosed differently or looked at differently or treated differently. So let's get everything on the same page. Let our soldiers get the help that they need, so that they can go ahead and be good parts of society, because a lot of our soldiers are struggling with this, unfortunately. And like I said, much love and respect to all of our veterans, all of our soldiers. I come from a family of soldiers. My brother was in the Navy, my other brother in the Marines, and my father was in the Army. I'm the only person that did not go into the military. Like I told probably my first couple episodes that my brothers threatened my life. They said that I could not go into the military. If I ever decided to go into the military, they would kidnap me, put me in a trunk, and drive me across the border to Canada. So that is what they told me. So I am the one that went straight to college, and I'm thankful for that. I love my brothers for that. I literally just got off the phone with my brother, and he will actually be one of my first interviews. He is a war veteran. He served both in Desert Storm and Desert Shield in the Navy. So he is twice a war veteran for two different sectors of military war time. So I appreciate him. I love him, and we shall honor him during our interview next time on Military Mondays. Just to kind of give you some information, I'll just start off with those bits of information, just to kind of give you put some light on what happens during the course of these things. Just put some light on what's going on in the world, that you see the disparities, even in the military. You know, people are like, oh, well, it's a fair game, fair play, because soldiers go out and fight when they come back, but it's not. There's even disparities even when people seek help in the military. Our black and brown soldiers are getting, like I said, diagnosed differently, treated differently, different health care than our white soldiers, unfortunately. So, you know, let's fix this if this is the case. Now, obviously, this is from some information from 2007, but I'm sure if somebody dug deep into paperwork from recent, there might not be too much of a change. I'm hoping that is not the case. I'm hoping that since 2007 up until this point, that they had enough time to be able to change and change those disparities and make some adjustments. But you know, if not, then hopefully somebody will see this that can make that change and make those adjustments, because at the end of the day, they have fought for our country side by side, whatever color, whatever issues or concerns that they've had prior to being soldiers. I'm sure they were able to put that to the side once they were on the battlefield together, because I'm sure that there is no brotherhood that is like being in the military, which is what I've been told by several. My barber is a Marine, or was a Marine. He also is a vet, and just other people that have been in the military have always mentioned that to me. There is no brotherhood like being in the military, or being part of a platoon or battalion or whatever it was that you happen to be part of in those military times. So once again, I salute and give much respect and much thanks to all of our soldiers, both male and female, because I also know of several of my cousins who are females who have gone into the military as well. Like I said, much respect and much love to all veterans, both male, female, black, brown, white, so happy. So we are talking about today in this particular segment, Military Mondays. On the podcast, we're talking about mental health and our soldiers, and what that looks like and how that feels, and some disparities, unfortunately, in healthcare and what it can do. Some touch points that I definitely want to go over that I had jotted down. PTSD, which is definitely one, which is a post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a big thing that comes from being in the military. You're at war, you are witnessing and seeing an abundance of things. You're witnessing death, you're witnessing blood, you're witnessing disaster, you're witnessing explosions, you're witnessing gun battles, and you're taking part of these things. You're there, you're seeing, you're a witness to all of this stuff. So all that stuff gets downloaded, all that stuff gets processed in your mind, because that's not a regular day. My regular Saturday or my regular Tuesday is, you know, maybe play with my son or going to a ball game or something like that. Unfortunately, a military Tuesday or Saturday might end up being in a gun battle with an enemy, or unfortunately seeing an explosion, or seeing someone get killed, or seeing someone in your own battalion or your platoon get killed, or having to kill someone. That's a whole another concept to have to download, you know, because it's easy for you to talk about it, whatever, but you know, and being in the military, you are trained to take a life if need be, and you will do that. You know, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say, if you are placed on a plane and you're going off to another country because you have orders that have been given to you by the president, by your captain, by whoever is in charge at that particular point, and they are saying this is what needs to be done, then as a military person, that is what you're going to set out to do. And like I said, I have not been in the military, but like I said, I have brothers, I have family members. My father and both my brothers all have been part of the military. So I don't speak on it as an expert, but I just speak on it from being exposed to it from early on in life. So I don't, you know, if I have said anything out of context, or if anyone feels disrespected, because I'm not exactly sure the complete hierarchy of what the ranks are, but I do understand that there are captains, majors, sergeants, so on and so forth. But if I say them out of context or anything like that, there's no disrespect intended. I'm just trying to reference points and things of that nature. But as I mentioned in the comment section, you guys can let me know, like, look, this is what the hierarchy is as far as the Navy. This is the hierarchy as far as the Marines. This is the hierarchy as far as the Air Force, so on and so forth. And I will gladly take on that those bits of information. Any feedback that you can give me, or anything that you would like to talk about, please let me know. Because I definitely want the feedback, and I definitely want to know if this is something that you've experienced, and if so, then maybe I can have you, speak about it or let me know. And hopefully this will touch you and help you to help yourself if you need to seek some help or go see someone in reference to some of the issues and concerns that you may be having with your mental health, as far as from being in the military, so on and so forth. So hopefully we can do that. So just being